Hello, hello, and welcome into tonight's race, the streets of Chiraq GP here in Chicago. I apologize for the little bit of a delay getting live there as usual. I procrastinated till the last minute, and right as I was getting ready to go live, I hit the wrong button and had to completely redo some things, mostly the overlay you're seeing here on the screen with the scoring. But these drivers are getting ready to start qualifying here on this street circuit. We got about 10 minutes of qualifying. We'll go through and remind you guys, of course, we've got 3 races left in the regular season here of the Donut Box Xfinity Series. We can bring the music back, it's only qualifying. But we've got 3 races left here in the Donut Box Xfinity Series regular season. Drivers that are locked in: Cam Patterson, Shane Fuller, Mark Parkhurst, Cody Moore, Tyler Smith, all locked in to the playoffs right now. Several drivers in on points. Below the cut line, you see Christian Taylor, John McIntyre, David Mayo. Taylor and, well, actually, it looks like Taylor is the only one here. So that's going to be good news for him. He should be able to do his best to gain some points. Speaking of points, Cam Patterson continues to be your regular season points leader. Mark Parkhurst fairly close behind. Shane Fuller moving up a spot into the top 3. Cody Moore dropping 2 spots along with Scott Ford Jr. and David Mayo. And Jack Scoville has made his way almost to the top 10. He's sitting in 11th. As far as the team standings go, we do have movement. Minor Motorsports has made their way into 4th place. Of course, that is Cam Patterson and Logan Festishin. They've made it by Off-Camber Racing, the team made up of Warren Young, Chris Bishop, and Mike Poole. So OCR are going to be looking to try to get that spot back. Quite a long track here tonight. 2.12 miles is the total distance of a lap. You see the fast guys running 132s, 133s. You'll see times all the way as slow as 138, 139. But from what I've heard, definitely some competitive lap times out of the guys. See Tony Osborne there. Number 10, the family man. Nobody has set a lap time yet. Of course, like I said, it takes you a while to get around this joint. Here in Chicago, we're going to have 40 laps tonight. It's going to be a total of 85.6 miles. We will have stages at lap 10 and lap 25. Fixed setup, 1 fast repair, 4 sets of tires. Likely no cautions unless, well, of course for the stages there will be cautions, but other than that it's pretty much just going to be if there is a massive pile up out of a corner that nobody can get by. That'll be the only other time you see a caution. Ryan Castleberry in that 32 car gets the first time on the board. Immediately after, Tony Osborne beats him by about 5.5 seconds. Osborne with a 1 good lap there for the 10. Next driver to complete a lap is going to be the 78 here of Logan Festishin. He's fixing to take the right-hand turn here onto South Columbus Drive. Let's see what kind of time driver that number 78 can get. He didn't set a time, so that must have meant he got a 1X or something, but the 42 of Chris Bishop does set a time. 138.7. Tyler Smith in the 23. Going to be coming across the stripe. He doesn't get a time set either, but the 04 of Mark Parkhurst does, and he's your new pole sitter at the moment. Cam Patterson, though, on his final lap, he's going to take that top spot with a 132.5 as he hits a sick drift onto Lakeshore Drive there. We're staring up at a big old building. Let's get a view of a car on the track, please. Your top three at the moment: Cam Patterson, Mark Parkhurst, Ben Madden, but Shane Fuller here in the 57's getting ready to cross the stripe. See if he can put a time on the board. Does not appear so just yet. Logan Feschishin going to give it one more try. We'll see if he can put a time on the board this time. He does. He's good enough for 6th place with a 138.1, and Christopher Bishop takes that 6th spot away almost immediately with a 137.5. Tyler Smith coming across the stripe. Let's see if he can put a time on the board in that Toyota Supra. Good enough for 4th, a 134.9. Christian Taylor coming across the stripe in that Caterpillar Supra. Does he get on the board? He does. 6th place for him with 136.4. The man in 7th right now, Andy Lewis, he's coming across the stripe to finish his 2nd lap. Good enough for 5th with a 135.0. Travis Trussell is out here in that steel Chevy Camaro. No time on the board for the 31. How about for the 57? Good enough for 2nd, 132.57. Very close to your leader there. Logan Feschishin finishing up his final lap now. See if he can improve from the 10th spot. He does. He moves up to 8th place now, 136.21. Smashes the wall in style. We like to see it. What about Tyler Smith? He is going to cross the stripe here. Moves up into 3rd with a 133.81. And Christian Taylor coming around again to finish up another lap. What'll it be for the 96? Is he going to move up from 9th? He does not. That 2nd lap. A couple of tenths slower there for the 96. Travis Trussell currently the last man left on the track. He's drifting her in style. It's probably going to be it there for the 31. Captain Jack Scoville hanging out at the end of pit road. Just waving to all the fans. He says, I'm not even going to qualify. I'm just going to leave my car here. Looking good. Finally got the sponsorship from Ruger back. It's been a couple of weeks. Unsponsored for the 15. They kissed and made up. We've got about a minute until these drivers are going to be gridding up, getting ready for the start of this thing. A couple of things I've heard from the drivers so far is the tire barriers can definitely be sketchy. Reports that sometimes you can hit it lightly and your car will bounce off harder than you hit it. So that's not a good sign. But definitely some beautiful scenery for this race. I don't know if it's something to look out for or not, but looking at the weather report, it's a nice 68-degree day here in Chicago, 86 degrees on the track. Quite windy. I've been seeing winds from the southeast up to 22 miles an hour. I don't know if that's going to play any part in this race whatsoever, but just keep in mind it's gusty out there. I'm just thankful after a couple of weeks of just straight up fog. We're a little better off now. NASCAR spared no expense. They brought the fancy Porsche safety car out to navigate these tight corners. I'm sure it'll be going around the corners faster than our drivers can in these Xfinity cars as they get ready to roll off here. As we go through our grid, you've got Cam Patterson at 38 starting on the pole. 57 Shane Fuller starting off P2. Then you got the 23 Tyler Smith and the 04 Mark Parkhurst row 2. Row 3 is Ben Madden and Andy Lewis. Row 4 is going to be Tony Osborne and Logan Peschishin. Row 5 goes to Christian Taylor and Christopher Bishop. Row 6 is going to be the 32 of Ryan Castleberry and the 31 of Travis Trussell. Jack Scoville, Frank Warner. Both appear to be starting from the pits. Quality camera angles here on the channel. This pace car is hauling ass. One more corner to go here, and you're going to see the pace car make its way onto the pit lane, and these drivers getting ready to take us to the green flag. Green flag is out here in Chicago. Cam Patterson and Shane Fuller leading them across the stripe. They come down into turn 1. It's a hard braking left-hander. Everything looks clean through turn 1, but I mean Shane Fuller gonna come in and take the lead. Looks like the cameras are pretty loud. Try to get that turned down so you're able to hear me over them. Shane Fuller to the lead, Cam Patterson second. Tyler Smith gonna be your third spot right now. This is definitely a unique track here. You don't see NASCAR going to the street courses too often. Shane Fuller going to get in the wall. Patterson takes advantage. He's going to retake the lead here before we go into the final corner. Shane Fuller not going to lead a lap yet, but if qualifying tells us anything, he definitely has the speed to stick with the 38. Of course, stage number 1 is going to be at the end of lap 10. As Cam and Shane battle it out. Let's go ahead and drop back a little bit. Check out what's going on in the rest of our field here. Everybody's kind of spread out here in the top 5 or 6, it appears right now. Everybody's feeling it out, seeing what they can do, what they don't want to do. And I just heard somebody do what they don't want to do. It looks like the 33 of Madden ended up going around. He's going to get it back going. Let's rewind and see if we can see what happened to the 33. Coming through here. The bumps got him. He did a good job of saving the car. Minimal damage for that 33. He's got it back going. Looks like he's going to be somewhere around 11th or 12th. He's making the pass, though, on the 32 of Castleberry. Going to try to move his way back up through the field. Turn our eyes back out front. Patterson and Fuller doing their best to run away from everybody else right now. David Mayo in the chat saying good luck, guys. David, you should be out here, buddy. This looks like an absolute blast. Looks like Tony Osborne and Christopher Bishop did have a little bit of a battle for maybe a second there. Looks like that's kind of calmed down. Osborne moved up 2 spots last lap. Patterson and Fuller definitely both showing some really good speed so far. Tyler Smith, he's got 3rd place on lock. Parkhurst and Lewis behind him, trying to work on possibly catching him, but not sure if that's gonna happen. There's Mark Parkhurst running P4. And that waste management number 04. Andy Lewis in that 08 right behind. In the 6th spot currently is the 78 there of Logan Festchishin. He's got Christian Taylor in that 96 sitting in the 7th spot right now. Ben Madden back up to 8th place now. After his spin, he's gained 3 spots back. Chris Bishop behind, and Travis Trussell round out the top 10. Frank Warner does not appear to have ever made it on the track. And Tony Osborne in the 10, he's the first one to hit pit road. Of course, we'll take a look back at last week. We were at the beautiful tricky triangle of Pocono Raceway. Shane Fuller took the win. Mark Parkhurst 2nd. Cam Patterson 3rd. Tyler Smith 4th. Franklin Warner 5th. Andy Lewis, John McIntyre, Chris Bishop, Logan Festchishin, Bill Sleep rounded out the top 10 last week. Of course, Shane Fuller was up in the broadcast booth with me the week before for the All-Star race, and then managed to come out and get his 2nd win on the season right after that. And of course, he's running pretty good tonight so far in 2nd place. Fastest car on the track, though, continues to be this Red Bull machine here of Cam Patterson. He's a big fan of the road courses. Definitely shows it here at Chicago. It appears the 78 of Logan Fish-Chisholm had some trouble. He ended up losing. Whoa! 31 of Trussell. Facing backwards. Trying to get it back going. About smacked the 78 there. He's going to keep it parked until the 32 gets around. Let's go back. Let's see what happened here to the 31. Just coming up on the corner. Just looked like he might have locked one of the front brakes and the car goes right around. He was getting ready to gas it up and spin it around, but he saw there was traffic coming. Wise decision to wait for the 31 there. He's got her back going now, but he's going to lose some spots because of that for sure. It's likely going to put him somewhere around. He's going to be 11th. Closest battle on the track at the moment is, hold on, let's take a look here. Madden having more issues. Coming into the corner just a little too hot. Once again, another great job for the 33 at keeping that car as clean as possible. Gets it back going there right in front of Jack Scoville. But it appears that, well, now Ben Madden's gone and now he's back. The closest battle was between the 23 of Tyler Smith and the 04 of Mark Parkhurst. But now with Ben Madden falling back once again, losing some more spots, he's right on the tail of the 42, Christopher Bishop. He's definitely got more pace than the 42. So we'll keep an eye here on Ben Madden. Tony Osborne, the first and only one to come to pit road so far. Ryan Castleberry in the 32 car, he came down pit road as well, but he might have been fixing some damage. A 72-second pit stop for the 32. Jack Scoville in the background there, scraping the wall just a slight bit. No battle whatsoever for the lead. Cam Patterson's out front by about 7 seconds now. Let's go ahead and ride on board with the 38 for a lap. Cam Patterson doing his best Max Verstappen impression. Here in this Red Bull machine, he's out to a dominant lead right now. As he takes the Roosevelt loop there to turn onto South Columbus Drive. Shane Fuller in the 57, definitely showing that he is the second fastest car out here. I don't think he has the speed that Patterson does, but he has the speed to stay in front of everybody else. Tyler Smith in the 23. Definitely putting on a good showing tonight. Been in the top 3 pretty much the entire time. Mark Parkhurst is fairly close behind him. Maintaining that 4th position, and Andy Lewis was a little bit closer early on, but he's fallen back a little bit. He still holds on to 5th place. A couple of drivers hitting the pit lanes. You got Jack Scoville, Ryan Castleberry in at the moment. Scoville fuel only. Castleberry has been in the pits for about 3 minutes now. Of course, these drivers will have to pit for fuel, as is the norm. Travis Trussell in the 31. He's under a bit of pressure from the 10 of Osborne. Osborne already coming down pit road to get fuel to finish out the stage. Some of these drivers that did come down and get fuel, they might just be looking to flip the stage for position and hope they can make it to 25. As it does appear the 38 of Patterson, as we are on lap 10 here, it does appear that he's going to have enough fuel to finish the stage. 2 corners to go here in stage 1. As we go across the stripe, the 38, Cam Patterson, stage 1 winner. Shane Fuller gonna bring it home, P2 for the stage. And Tyler Smith is gonna be P3. He did get under a bit more pressure there from Mark Parkhurst towards the end. Parkhurst not able to get it done, though. Of course, these drivers are going to have to make their way back to the pace car, so we're definitely going to have ourselves a little bit of a break here. Andy Lewis crosses the stripe to take P5 in the stage. Christian Taylor going to be 6th. Ben Madden fighting his way back up to 7th after a couple spins. Logan Festchischen bringing it home for P8 in stage number 1. Christopher Bishop, P9 for the stage. And Travis Trussell going to sneak through with a P10. Patterson's made his way back to the front stretch. He's going to catch up to our safety car here in just a moment. And we'll see how the 38 of Patterson is feeling. Cam, it's Jesse up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, P1 in stage 1 after qualifying up front on the pole. You definitely seem to have the speed compared to everybody else tonight. I know Shane was pretty comparable at the start of the run, but towards the end of it, you were running away with it. How's this track feel for you tonight?
It feels really good, especially since before I got here, I didn't run a single lap, like for months. So I was really concerned, but then got in here, car felt good, track felt good. Now obviously this is a very tricky car track combo. So I don't know if you saw whenever you were watching me, but I almost made a few mistakes that could have ended my race or just my run in stage 1. But it's definitely something else. It's really fun. It's really unique. I've always loved these street circuits, and yeah, the car felt really good. I had really good consistent lap times for the first 5 laps, and as the tires ran away from me, so did those lap times. So yeah, gonna hopefully try to repeat stage 1 and do it again in stage 2 and do it again for the final stage as well.
Absolutely. The track definitely seems very, very bumpy from what I'm watching. I've never ran any laps on it myself. Do you have anything to say for anybody that might think of trying this track for the first time?
Really depends on what car you drive. You know, these cars are a lot easier on this track, which I know might sound a little bit weird because these cars are not easy overall to drive. But with their soft suspension, they take the bumps really well. Sort of similar with the next gen, but if you want to do a car with stiff suspension like the Indy car or the Formula One car that iRacing has, you're going to have a rough time because this thing is very bumpy. I'd say close to Belle Isle, so anyone who wants to get it, I recommend it 100%, but I'm a big fan of these bumpy tracks. If you want a smooth track, I recommend you stray away.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I'll let you get your pit stop done here. Congrats on the stage 1 win, and maybe we'll be talking to you after stage 2.
I hope so. I'll see you later.
Cam Patterson in the 38 there. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break while these drivers get ready to go back green flag race, and make sure to stay tuned. Hit that like button. It helps the stream out. Maybe it'll get it to some new eyes for people out there. Hit the subscribe button if you want to stay tuned for every time we go live here on Thursday nights, and every time the VOD of our Monday Night Cup Series gets posted, you'll be able to get those notifications if you wish. And we've got some time to hang out until we get back ready to go green for stage number 2, so I'll be back with you shortly. Just got news, the 38 Patterson, your leader, posted for a choose violation. Apparently he did not make it clear and concise what lane he would be choosing for the restart, so he's going to the back of the field. Gonna have to drive his way back forward. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. We've got one more corner before we go green here. Tyler Smith and Mark Parkhurst gonna lead him to green now, with Ben Madden, Logan Festchishin behind. Christian Taylor, Shane Fuller in row number 3. Green flag is back out here at Chicago. Tyler Smith leads across the stripe. As they go down into turn 1, Parkhurst has the better line, and he's going to take that spot. Mark Parkhurst going to be your leader. 23 gets loose, and the 78 hard into the wall. Somebody else is collected. Big junk. Lots of cars getting damaged in that one. Caution gonna come back out. My. Smith and the 23 just get caught up on those bumps. Send him around. We'll go back and take one more look at that from a different angle. Let's go from the drone cam here. As they come through turn 1, he has a bit of a disadvantage there on the outside lane. And then he's straight right there, getting on the gas too hard though, and the car just starts to go left. And unfortunately for the 78, that's right where he was. Bounces hard off the wall. Ben Madden squeaks by. Shane Fuller squeaks by. Chris Taylor with nowhere to go gets into the back of the 23. Cam Patterson makes it through, as well as Osborne. Chris Bishop gonna make it through. No, he gets tagged by the 96 trying to get going there. The 08 of Lewis doing the best he can to just stay there and let everything sort itself out, as our field is catching back up to the pace car now. Parkhurst retains the lead. Ben Madden now up into second place. Of course, we're in stage number 2 currently. Stage 2 finishes at the end of lap 25. Our first caution tonight for an incident. Looks like I'm about to potentially get hit with a few minutes of rough weather here soon. Hopefully that passes by and we don't have any issues here and we can keep this show on the road. But we're going to have ourselves another quick break, but not before we talk about the top 10 challenge. The drivers get the chance to compete for a prize pretty much week in and week out. The current top 10 challenge is running pretty strong. It restarted week 8, and then we had 3 eliminated: Shane Fuller, John McIntyre, Cody Moore drop in week 9, and then last week The only driver to drop out was Tony Osborne, so there's still 6 cars alive for the top 10 challenge. Bill Sleep did not make this race tonight, so he's going to be out after this week. But Mark Parkhurst, Andy Lewis, Cam Patterson, Chris Bishop, Logan Feschischen, all hoping to finish in the top 10 tonight to continue their run in the top 10 challenge. The only driver not in the top 10 at the moment is Logan Feschischen after that accident. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, jam to some music, and we'll be back for some more green flag racing. Lights are off on the pace car. Mark Parkhurst and Ben Madden going to be row 1. Row 2 is going to be Shane Fuller, Cam Patterson leading them back to the green flag here. Green flag is waving. Parkhurst getting a good jump on that inside line. Ben Madden going to be stuck on the outside here probably. And the 23 of Smith almost goes around, but Parkhurst misses his brake zone, smacks the wall. We've got chaos ensuing. Fuller and Patterson are side by side now for the lead. And Patterson, after one caution to go, being posted for a choose violation, now he is back up front. Fuller not giving up the fight yet, but he's looking at a potential repeat of stage number 1, just watching the 38 drive away while he's in second place. All I can hear in the back is people scraping the wall around here. It is a very narrow track, so that's not really any surprise to me. The 57 goes a little wide and then gets a little sideways. A little slideways, we'll call it. But Patterson, I'd say scratched and clawed his way back to the lead, but in all reality, he just missed a wreck and then missed another one. And he is back out front. Shane Fuller right behind him. Ben Madden falling into third. And I believe it's the family man Tony Osborne running fourth right now. Logan Feschischen up to fifth. Andrew Lewis sixth. Travis Trussell, your 7th spot. Chris Taylor, your 8th. Sounds like the 04 of Parkhurst after that contact with the wall. Damage significant enough to bring in a pit road. The 23 of Smith also coming down pit road here. In that Alani Nu machine. Patterson and Fuller continue to be the class of the field. Ben Madden comfortably in third, no pressure anywhere around. Same can be said for Logan Fish-Chisholm, but Tony Osborne has been a bit quicker on the night, so he may be looking to get by the 78. The 04 Parkhurst used his faster pair, and he is now back out on the track. Smith still on pit road. This is your closest group on the track right here of Logan Fish-Chisholm, Tony Osborne, Andy Lewis. Out of these three drivers, the fastest lap goes to Tony Osborne. Although Logan Fish-Chisholm just about matched him. It's possible the 04 of Parkhurst might have just got some more damage after checking that faster pair, so let's double check that real quick. No, I'm not sure. I couldn't see anything. I was getting reports that there was a chance he had damage, but I can't see anything. Cam Patterson continuing to grow his lead. Meanwhile, Andy Lewis right on the back bumper of Tony Osborne to get into the top 5. Osborne having a little bit of a blinking issue, kind of popping in and out. But this is definitely your closest battle on the racetrack at this point, as we're officially halfway through tonight's race. Just wall scrapes galore as these drivers come around these corners. If these cars had mirrors, they'd be gone already. As we've got about 4 laps to go in the stage, we'll go ahead and go through your running order right now. Cam Patterson giving us a repeat of stage number 1. He's out to the lead. Shane Fuller still running second place. Ben Madden's been able to keep the car straight here in stage number 2, and he's holding down the 3rd spot right now. Logan Fish-Chisholm in that 78. He's made good ground on the 2 drivers behind him. He's holding down the 4th spot. Tony Osborne in 5th for now. He's got Andy Lewis breathing right down his neck. Travis Trussell in the 31 stays in the 7th spot. Christian Taylor in the 96 holding down 8th. Then you go back to the 42 there, Chris Bishop for 9th, and then Mark Parkhurst down pit road again. He is scored a lap down now, but still in the top 10. Tyler Smith is back out on the track now. He's 1 lap down. And then you've got Ryan Castleberry, Jack Scoville out of this race. Unless anything happens, any developments for the lead, we're going to keep our eye on these three drivers for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Vestchishin, Osborne, and Lewis all seem to be fairly evenly matched. Logan, whoa! I heard some screeching going into that corner there. Parkhurst gets by the 31. Let's go back and see what happened to Travis Trussell there. I wouldn't have known that happened had I not heard it. Coming down into the heavy braking zone. The rear end just goes out from under him and he bounced right into the tire barriers. He gets it back going. He's now got Christian Taylor right behind him. That's a fight for position. Parkhurst was not. As far as who's been faster tonight, it's going to be the 96. Looked like he thought about going inside of the 31 there, not able to quite do it. Trussell will hold the spot just for the moment, but we'll keep an eye on this as we keep an eye on this three-way battle between Vestchishin, Osborne, and Lewis, still continuing to be some of the closest action we've got on the racetrack right now, but nobody seems to be able to catch the guy in front of them. Logan Vestchishin getting sideways as they go through the little carousel here. Now that's Osborne catch up to his bumper there a little bit. Somebody scraping the wall. Seems like the 31 of Trussell might have had some more trouble. Let's see what happened here again to the 31. The same corner that he had overshot before, he ends up getting loose and spins her out. Gets it back going once again. It's been a rough race for the 31, but he's been able to stay in the top 10 regardless. Something must have happened again to the 04 of Parkhurst as well. Let's go and see if we can see what might have happened to the 04. He was a lap down, but still in 10th place. Bounces into the wall there. 31, that's when the 31 spun out. And then just missed the brake zone. Boom, right into the fence. And that engine was blown. So that was the end of the night for the 04. Apparently, Shane Fuller has taken over the race lead. What in the world is going on in this race? Let's go and see real quick before the end of the stage if we can see how Shane Fuller inherited the lead. See the 38 of Patterson coming into the corner here. This is the same corner that Trussell was having so much trouble with, and Patterson just getting loose, trying to get it back rolling. Fuller drives right by. So Shane Fuller in the 57 gonna back up his win last week with a win in stage 2. Coming across the bridge for the final corner. Caution's flying early, but they're going to race back to the line. And Shane Fuller going to have no problem taking home P1 in the stage. Cam Patterson gets second place. Ben Madden likely going to get third. Logan Festchician fourth. Tony Osborne fifth. And Andy Lewis was trying hard to get sixth there. Not able to do it. Christian Taylor in the 96 going to get the 7th spot. Chris Bishop going to be 8th. And Travis Trussell going to be your 9th place. Let's go ahead and have a quick chat with stage 2 winner Shane Fuller. Shane, it's Jesse up in the booth. Do you got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Well. I don't think you were expecting to be the stage 2 winner, but yet here we are. How does it feel tonight?
Feels great to get a present just dropped into your lap there with 2 to go. I was just talking to Cam about that. I saw him go into the barrier, and then he hit it pretty good, and I was like, ooh, I got to try and capitalize here. So luckily we came away with that one.
So I haven't seen you have trouble with that particular corner, but that definitely has seemed to be the corner that's been biting a lot of people tonight. What is it about that particular corner that is giving people so much trouble?
So from what I have noticed at that corner is you're almost redlining 4th gear, and then when you try to get on the brakes, it starts to tire hop real bad. So you have to like back up the corner for where the countdown signs are. You got to back it up a lot right there.
Yeah, because I've seen Travis Trussell catch it a few times. Of course, that's what just gave you the stage 2 win. I know you're about to make a pit stop here, so I'm going to send you back down, but congratulations on the stage 2 win, and maybe here in the end you can have something for the 38.
Yes, sir. I hope we have something. You know what? I thought we were going to be racing for second, but it seems like we might have a chance. Mistakes happen.
All right, well, good luck to you, and we'll be hopefully talking to you after the race.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Shane Fuller there in the 57. Likely going to be your leader off of pit road unless somebody goes for some weird sort of pit strategy here. We'll keep our eyes out for it. Tyler Smith in the 23. He's going to be your lucky dog. You can see him flying by. Shane Fuller does come out first. It was close there across the line. Let's go ahead and rewind and take a look at this battle off of pit road between the 33 and the 78. That camera does not seem to be where the pit exit line is, but we can get a good view from here. Ben Madden barely got to the 78 there. But as these drivers pace once again. We're going to go ahead and take one more break before we get back green flag racing. And we'll have to keep our eyes on the battle between Shane Fuller, Cam Patterson. Can Ben Madden stay consistent as he was in stage 2 and bring home a top 3? Or one of the drivers behind him have something to say about that? Stay tuned for more green flag racing after the break. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here in the streets of Chiraq GP. We're going to have 12 laps to go when these drivers take the green flag.
Green, green, green.
Shane Fuller leads the field to green, Cam Patterson right beside him. Ben Madden and Andy Lewis in behind. Coming down into turn 1. Patterson a little late on the brakes. Fuller going to stay beside him though and continue to battle. Patterson's going to have the inside into this next corner. And Patterson's going to take back the race lead. Of course, Patterson the dominant car at the beginning of this race, and it looked like it was going to be the same way for stage 2. Until he ended up making a mistake into the one corner that's been biting everybody tonight. Logan Festchischen in the 78, trying to make his way back out towards the front. He's on the outside of the Ben Madden. I don't know if Ben didn't realize he was there, or if the 78 ended up getting too close to him. It looked like it was clean midway through the corner. Let's go back, take another look from above, see if we can see what happened here a little bit better. You see Logan Fish-Chisholm definitely later on the brakes than the 33. He gets the nose out there. He's on his outside. And I think he could have gave the 33 a little bit more room there, but he did straighten him back out. And they kept going. Apparently might have been more trouble with the 78 and the 33. Let's see. Nothing that I could see. So we'll go ahead and go back live. Cam Patterson in the 38. Continuing to put on a show tonight. He's definitely been the fastest driver of the night, but he's shown that he is capable of making a mistake. Shane Fuller right behind him there in P2, ready to capitalize. Your new driver in the top 3 is the 08 of Andy Lewis. He's had kind of a quiet night. Finished stage 2 just outside of the top 5, but now he finds himself in 3rd. The family man Tony Osborne right behind him there in 4th place. And then the 78 of Fish-Chisholm, after that trouble with Ben Madden, still finds himself in the top 5. 42 Chris Bishop rolling in 6th. He's got Ben Madden behind in 7th. Tyler Smith in the 23. He's in 8th place. He's back on the lead lap after spending most of stage 2 a lap down. Travis Trussell in the 31. He's hanging on to 9th place just based off the fact that he hasn't gone a lap down yet. And the 96 of Christian Taylor is a lap down, under threat of going 2 laps down, because he is on the same few corners as the leaders right behind him. As you see the 96 go by, it's not far behind. You see the Cam Patterson and Shane Fuller cars coming around the corner. Mark Parker's Jack Scoville, Ryan Castleberry out of this race. It really does sound violent whenever these cars get into the wall. But apparently it's not damaging them too much, because I've been hearing it all race. And it hasn't really taken anybody out, as far as I can tell. Not much of a fight for the lead right now. Shane Fuller's pretty comfortably in 2nd. Andy Lewis has Tony Osborne, the family man, starting to creep up on him. Tony Osborne 1.5 seconds faster that previous lap. He's looking to find himself a 3rd place spot. Osborne running his fastest lap of the race the lap before. Taylor in the 96 brings it back down pit road. Definitely puts the 96 a lap down. Definitely a bumpy, hard to handle track here that we're watching these drivers take on tonight. This is definitely your closest fight on the track here between Andy Lewis and Tony Osborne. Fish-Chisholm behind them both kind of in no man's land. And then you've got another bit of a small battle between Chris Bishop and Ben Madden and Tyler Smith. Smith got the ass into that car swinging out. Getting on the gas a little bit too hard. Trying to come out of the corner with a good run. Madden does make his way around the 42 of Bishop. Puts Ben Madden up into the 6th spot. Bishop down to 7th. Now Tyler Smith going to try to find a way around the 42 now. And Bishop does give the 23 the spot. He knows the 23 is a bit faster. Figures he might as well just let him take it the easy way instead of potentially getting them both wrecked out. Cam Patterson continuing to extend the lead. He's got it up to about 6 seconds now. Once again doing his best Max Verstappen impersonation. Of course, just a reminder of the points. Patterson is your points leader. Parkhurst going to fall much farther behind of Cam Patterson now, being out of this race. And Shane Fuller, after getting 19 stage points, he's got a chance to possibly really catch Mark Parkhurst here for second in points. Andy Lewis, of course, having a good night so far. Cody Moore not able to make it tonight, so he's likely going to drop out of the top 5. As far as the teams go, you've got Minor Motorsports drivers Cam Patterson, Logan Festchishin in 1st and 5th. For Mighty Donut Motorsports, you've got Shane Fuller 2nd, Tony Osborne in 4th. Lone driver for Rocky Mountain Motorsports, Andrew Lewis, is in 3rd. Ben Madden, solo driver, in 6th. Chris Bishop, the only member of Off-Camber Racing to make it tonight, 7th. For Highline Racing, you got Tyler Smith in the 8th spot. Ryan Castleberry out of this race. Then for Storm Motorsports, it's been a pretty rough night. You got Travis Trussell, Christian Taylor, 9th and 10th. Jack Scoville out of this race. Frank Warner, Scott Ford, neither of them making the start tonight. And as we've got 6 laps to go here in the streets of Chiraq GP. No battles anywhere on the track, so we're going to take ourselves a break. And I'll keep my eye out to see if we start to have a battle or something happens to somebody, but we will be back shortly. It appears we had some trouble for Shane Fuller in second. All of a sudden, out of this race. What happened to the 57? Just locked the brakes up, bounced off the wall, and that was enough to blow the motor. Now that number 57, that's very unfortunate for Shane Fuller. He was putting together a hell of a race. That's going to make your new second place driver the 08 of Andy Lewis. 23 seconds back from the 38 of Cam Patterson. Tony Osborne moves up to third, Logan Festchischen to fourth. Ben Madden takes P5. Cam Patterson putting on a show. And now I don't think there's anyone even close enough to capitalize if we have a mistake out of who has been the best driver tonight. All Cam Patterson has to do is focus on not making any mistakes, bring it home, and he'll have himself his fourth win on the season. Andy Lewis holding down that second spot. He's a bit faster than the 10 of Tony Osborne last lap. We'll have to keep an eye on if Tony Osborne can string together a couple good laps and put any pressure on that 08 of Lewis. Tony Osborne, a couple of wins in the late model Donut Box Series. Yet to find any here in the Xfinity car, but this has definitely been one of his better performances on the year. Top 5 pretty much all night. Logan Festchischen, after a mishap under pacing and losing some spots due to that, he's found himself into fourth. Seems to be dealing with a pretty poor driving race car. We're right on board with the 78 here. See what it's like to be driving that machine. That 78 NOS Zero Sugar machine seems to definitely be a bit of a handful. Ben Madden holding down the top 5 right now. But he's running top 5, but he's 41 seconds back from your leader. We called this the Streets of Chiraq GP, but it is like watching a Formula One Grand Prix. And it's a similar car out in front. The Red Bull Machine 38 Cam Patterson. The white flag is out. Cam Patterson can bring it home without some sort of nuclear level mistake. He's going to be your winner tonight. We do have a bit of a battle trying to brew between Tyler Smith and Christopher Bishop. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Smith was able to make the pass the previous lap, but we'll see if Bishop has any fight in him to try to get that spot back. As Patterson's getting towards the final set of corners here, comes through the carousel, and he's going to have 3 right-hand turns here. Left to go. As he's going to make the right turn on the South Columbus Drive for the final time here tonight. The Red Bull Ford Mustang 38 Cam Patterson takes home his 4th race of the season. Andy Lewis here under no pressure for bringing home 2nd place. Across the stripe, P2 to Andrew Lewis. Tony Osborne brings home 3rd with Logan Festchishin 4th. Ben Madden gonna finish with a top 5. A 38 of Patterson. Definitely a dominant force tonight. Shane Fuller had the pace for a couple of laps at the beginning each run, but he would steadily fall farther and farther behind, and then Fuller ends up missing a brake zone from all we could see, and the brakes locked up into the tire barriers, and the tire barriers immediately blew the motor. As we watch Cam Patterson burn it down. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a word with the man who brought home 3rd place, the family man, Tony Osborne. Holy smokes, let's go ahead and go to a different camera that's not going to blow our eardrums. Tony, it's Jesse up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Awesome, man. You bring it home. P3 tonight. You had kind of a quiet race, but you definitely did pretty good there at the end to hold on to that third spot. I know Logan Physician was getting close a little bit, but you had the speed to hold him off. How's it feel getting on the podium tonight?
It feels pretty good. Of course, I always take a podium over anything. This is my first time ever at this track, so it was a little bit of a learning curve. But as I went, I learned how to track, race, and stuff. And yeah, Logan was getting a little big in my mirror, but I'm just glad I was at a full home third.
Absolutely. There's a couple of wrecks there throughout the night, and I'm as far as I can recall, you were able to keep the car clean. Is that correct?
I took a self-spin early that gave me a little bit of damage. I had to use my fast repair, but other than that, I just played it safe and cruised on through the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a good job bringing home a podium tonight. You got any shout-outs you'd like to make before I go ahead and send you back down?
Yeah, I got a couple. Of course, I want to shout out to the family for letting me do these on Thursdays. Of course, they know I enjoy doing these. Shout out to MDM, Cody, all the admin team, and for you broadcasting every week.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it, and I just want to say congratulations to you, and congrats on the P3. I think that's probably your one of your best finishes on the year, if not your best finish. So coming out to a track you'd never raced before and doing that, it's got to feel pretty good. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That was Tony Osborne, that number 10 machine. Let's go ahead and get him back down in the voice chat he was in. Then you got the 08 here of Andy Lewis. Let's get a good angle here as Cam Patterson pulls up beside him there. Andy Lewis is down here. Let's go ahead and move him up here, and we'll have a chat with second place finisher tonight. Andy, it's Jesse up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, come in here, and you had a pretty consistent night all night, and you were running, top 5 most of the night, and it definitely looked like you were for sure getting a top 3. How's it feel ending up with a top 2, getting second after Shane had his trouble?
Yeah, that was surprising when I saw that yellow, and I was like, oh no, one of these faster guys wrecked. It's unfortunate for those guys up front, like Shane and Mark. They were having really good days, so I mean, it's nice to get the extra spot, but you also feel for the guys that worked hard and had a good race, and you just knew they were fast all day. But I mean, I was behind Shane and Mark going into this race on points, so I'm going to get a good jump there, so I can't complain. Just got lucky. So it's pretty good overall.
Yeah, you definitely are going to gain some points on those two. I hadn't talked to you at all tonight. Have you raced this track before? I know for a lot of guys out here, it was probably their first time, if not, just a couple of times being on this track before. What about you?
This was my first time ever turning laps here, so it was tricky. It's a really tight racetrack with a lot of blind corners. So, I mean, stage 1, you could tell I got banged up a little bit and got some cosmetic damage, but got that fixed. Got it fixed at the end of stage 2, and then something happened with Logan. We started behind Cam there, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to try and keep up with these guys as best as I can, and I did, and it worked out. So
absolutely. What was the hardest part to deal with for you tonight? I know there was some people having trouble with wheel hop with the bumps. There was some other people just having trouble hitting their lines. You seem to do pretty good. Was there any struggles specifically for you?
I mean, I really struggled with the braking and getting that line into the corner without locking these things up. I mean, I just in practice alone, I slid and hit the tire barriers. So I was like, man, I'm just going to get off the gas early, get into the brakes, take it nice and easy, and just try not to clip the car going through those blind corners. So it was really tricky to navigate, especially there's a weird curved section where it's right on the back stretch, I would say. It's a tight little chicane type deal, and that was tough because the car frees up a lot through there.
Yeah, there was definitely, I don't know if it's considered turn 5 or turn 6, but that left-hander, there's that one left-hander pretty much, hell, it might be really the only left-hand turn you have to take. It was really giving people some
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, it's really hard to get that car to turn left and get the car like going under you, and then you kind of get it back to the right to straighten it out, and it's really freed up through there. So that's definitely a tricky part of this racetrack to master getting the power down. But once I got a good feel for it, I mean, I saw Tony was creeping up on me there at the end, and I was like, oh gosh, I just got to run good, consistent laps here. And then I think he had a bad lap or something, and then I got a little free of him, and then that was it. So.
Well, definitely a great job from you tonight bringing home P2. Do you got any shout-outs you'd like to make before I go ahead and send you back down?
Of course, I'm going to shout out Rocky Mountain for having me on their team in Cup and kind of Xfinity. So shout out to Brian, my teammate. I forgot to shout him out when I won the All-Star race, so definitely got to hit him up. And then as always, shout out to Beyonce Gabs and Doggy Moose, because they love me and support me every day. So it's fun to have their backs behind me while I'm sitting racing and having fun. So.
All right, well, congrats one more time on the second spot on the podium, and we'll be seeing you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
There's one final person to talk to. We talked to him after his stage 1 win, and now we're talking to him again after taking home the race win. Cam, it's Jesse up in the booth. Do you got a copy? Holy smokes, I might not have a copy. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, I hear you now. That was
Hey,
weird.
alright,
I don't
we're
know
good.
what happened.
Maybe it was my internet. I don't know. I got bad internet over here.
Yeah, it definitely sounded like you were trying to be a transformer for a second, but you're bringing home the win, 4th win on the season. How's it feel?
It was pretty good. I don't know. Do you know what happened to Shane Fuller? That's just before I start yapping.
From my broadcaster POV of not racing this track before, it looked like he might have had a little bit of wheel hop that ended up having one of the front tires lock up, and he just went head on into a tire barrier.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Now hold on one second.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my sibling walked in, but so yeah, that makes sense. I got 4 family members in the house, so got to deal with that sometimes. But yeah, that's probably happened to me before. Its track's very bumpy, but like I said, it feels amazing. I think this is gonna sound pretty. I guess can I say? I don't know if I can say that word, but I kind of wish I beat him by 30 seconds, but got 29.5. So I'll accept that and accept this win. Of course, amazing to win at a track like this, especially making those mistakes, getting an EOL. I feel like a few things were thrown at me, all of them being my fault, but I managed to make up for it and win by quite a good bit. And it was fun battling Shane for like the few laps that we did have a battle. And great driver. Wish he would have stayed in it because he really did deserve that second place, or better yet, this first place. We were close for almost that entire race, and then as the race went on, our gaps just slowly would build. So yeah, but it's great to win at such a difficult track with such a difficult car. It's satisfying at the end of the day, and I think after 4 wins, I'll finally add the win stickers to the side of my car.
Yeah, and make sure to put a ×4 now, I believe, is what you're going for.
Oh, I remember you said that. Yeah, I gotta do that, actually. I
But,
completely forgot. Yeah, I will do that idea.
Yeah, I mean, you were up front for most of the race, so it might be easy for some people to forget the adversity you had to fight through. Of course, as you said, it was mainly, it wasn't, outside of your control, but you had the choose violation at the end of stage 1, starting stage 2, and then
A lot of it, yeah, was just not paying attention. Like going to that one turn where I hit the wall, I was like, I don't know, I just missed the braking zone, and then yeah, I was following the pace car kind of like an autopilot, and then when we passed the line, I was in the dead middle of the track, wasn't I? So, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you only showed tonight pretty much once that you were capable of making a mistake around here whenever Shane did get by you to win stage 2, but still definitely a dominant performance by you. And like
Thank
you
you.
said, it could have been 30 seconds. It was only 29 and a half. You're gonna have to put the gas pedal down a little harder next time.
Yeah, I guess I'm not good enough for this win. I gotta, go faster. I'm just kidding.
Well, again, congrats on the win. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to make tonight before we close this thing out?
Obviously, shout out to Logan. P4 tonight, had a great race, had a few mistakes that they're reviewing right now with another driver, and I think made a mistake by himself just once under caution, which I've done that before. It happens to every iRacer. So, I mean, I was honestly, sort of scared about where he was going to finish, but P4 is definitely very proud of him. Shout out to Cody Moore. I wish he was here tonight. A great guy to battle on these road courses. He's an amazing defender and just a great driver overall. So, hopefully he'll be here next weekend or whenever he wants to show up. Obviously not rushing him. Shout out to you for broadcasting, and I don't really do this a lot, but shout out to my parents. Being able to win a race like this and then go outside and they're just there with open arms, and better yet, open arms no matter wherever I finish. It's honestly the best feeling ever, and it could never beat any feeling I get of winning, because the fact that I know that I just won or I just lost and I have supportive parents outside of my room is honestly amazing. So I don't talk about them a lot, but I think I could never ask for a better pair of parents, 100%. So yeah, and I don't think I have any more shoutouts. Shout out to NASCAR for making this track, man. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just have to say, shout out to you for keeping your car on the track. Everybody kept their cars on the track tonight.
That's pretty impressive.
I think that's a first for the show, honestly.
I honestly, whenever I saw it on the schedule, I was shocked because like most leagues kind of avoid this track for good reason. It's difficult and definitely very hard. But to have a plus 10 car show up and have a race like this, I'm proud of the league. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely some struggles for some guys tonight, and not many for you. There was a few, but you still brought home the win. So congratulations to you. And
I did what I could.
Win number 4 on the season, Cam Patterson.
All right, thank you.
Well, that is going to wrap it up here tonight from Chicago, the streets of Chiraq GP. Cam Patterson once again taking home the win. Andy Lewis, Tony Osborne, Logan Feschishin, Ben Madden round out the top 5. Tyler Smith, Chris Bishop, Travis Trussell, Christian Taylor, Shane Fuller rounded out the top 10. We're going to get some jams going here. Go ahead and take another look. The man himself, Cam Patterson, get to celebrate after bringing home this win. But on that note, that's going to be the broadcast for tonight. Stay tuned for next week's show. We're going to be at Richmond next week for some short track action. Nobody's going to be mad after that race, I'm sure. That'll be next Thursday, and then after that's going to be Dover. But on that note, that'll do it for tonight's broadcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.